Greetings and welcome to another episode of SPCA Stories. Hope you are all doing well. If you are new to us, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Dawn Fenton, SPCA Monterey County Content and Education Manager. We are coming to you from the SPCA Monterey County Claire Jacobson Learning Center in beautiful Salinas, California. My guest this time around is Angelica Prado, our community educator here at SPCA Monterey County. Angelica manages and implements all of our education programs, both on our campus and in schools and other educational venues. Things like Animal Club, Pause to Read, our summer programming, etc. She is relatively new to the SPCA team, but from day one she fit in perfectly and has been nothing short of wonderful. So, Angelica, what is your title?
Yeah, I am the community educator for SPCA Monterey County.
And how long have you been working with us?
I will actually be celebrating my 1 year next week.
That's right.
Believe it or not.
1 year. So how do you feel about that?
It's crazy how fast the time flew by. It's whoosh.
And do you love your job?
I do. I absolutely love it. I'm so grateful to have been given this opportunity and chance to work so closely with our animals and our community.
So I say this every podcast, but I always like to, I'd like to give a compliment. And I remember interviewing you, and within like 3 minutes, I knew. I was like, this is my person. This is the person I want to be here and to work with our animals and our kids. And you're just a ray of sunshine, and you're so organized. Oh my goodness, you're organized, and you're really fun to be around. And I think that's important, not just
for the kids.
For kids, yeah, of course. But it's just you're just I can count on you, and I knew that from within minutes of meeting you.
Aww.
So, and I can't believe it's a year. I can't believe it's been a year.
Oh my gosh, It went by so quickly. Thank you. That means so much to me. I remember being super nervous for that interview. That's what I remember. But no, I was really, really excited when I saw the job listing. I was like, kids and animals? Oh my gosh.
Right,
Dream
right.
come true, right?
How can you go wrong, right? I mean, so yeah, how did you fall into this? Tell me a little bit about how you found us and how you fell into this line of work.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, I always knew that I wanted to work with animals. I feel like, and I see it with the kids that I work with, like you start off with having this natural connection to animals, to nature, to the world. And I wanted to foster that. So I always knew I wanted to work with animals. So going through grade school, I was like, I'm working with animals. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like for me just yet. But I will get there. I will be with animals. So I decided to major in biology, which gave me a very broad,
oh, sure.
Yeah, broad knowledge of all the things in the world. It's literally the study of life. So from there, I tried a couple different things in college, got some different opportunities, and I found that education and talking to people, having conversations is what I really liked. And I think I've always been good with kids. I was the camp counselor, as a middle schooler. I volunteered at the Oakland Zoo and the Children's Zoo portion. So I've always been around kids, and then just being able to talk to kids about animals. It's the best thing, because I always have those random questions, and I'm like, I may not know the answer, but I will find out for you.
Yeah. So what were you like as a kid?
I was the kid that would watch Animal Planet regularly. I would get excited over like Shark Week and things like that. So very, 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 I don't want to say nerdy, but just very curious, that's for sure, about animals and just all the things of life. So yeah, that was little me.
Did you have pets growing up?
Oh, I did, yes. Let's see, my first pet was a beautiful little black dog. Her name was Magina. And then we've always had dogs in our life. I also had some fish, because I was a big ocean girl. So some fish and dogs, but very, very important part of my life and my parents' lives. They've had pets growing up. My dad grew up on a like a ranch, just some land basically. They had chickens and horses and all that fun stuff. So animals have always been an important part to my family.
Okay, so I have kind of a random question. Do you find that with dogs, for instance, that you have a type? And the reason I ask, because I see a lot of you, of me and you and me, whatever that is. So when I was little, I didn't have pets as a kid. My grandma had a dog named Harvey. My first words were Harvey dog.
Oh my
I didn't say mom, I didn't say dad, I said Harvey dog. So I just have always loved little scruffy terriers. Mm-hmm. You know this. She's met my
little
dog.
Phoebes.
So do you have the same situation, or if you don't?
I think I have a type now. But growing up, we always had small dogs. Chihuahuas were a very big part of our household. It wasn't until 5 years ago when I got my own dog. He's a pit bull lab mix, so he's a big boy. And ever since I got him, I think I have like a really, really soft spot for my bigger dogs now, my pit bulls. So my type, I would say now on, pit bulls.
Not that we discriminate. It was just something that occurred to me as you were talking about growing up. And I mean, we love all dogs, obviously.
Absolutely love all doggies.
But it just occurred to me, I'm like, I wonder if she has a type, because I know I have a type.
Yeah, no, like there are big dog people and there are small dog people.
In fact, when I first started working here, everyone could tell I kind of liked the little scruffy guys. And so a dog would come in, a stray or whatever, and someone would say, "Oh, it's a Dawn dog. It's a Dawn dog." And so people still do that. So.
No, I love it. No, I know, because our name cards, there's a pit bull on mine, and I'm like, I know that was intentional, because I definitely talked about my dog during the interview.
Yes,
so
we
I
definitely.
love that it's on my little name card now.
We pay attention to those things around here. Do you have anyone that you would consider a mentor?
Oh, wow. Let's see. So many people come to mind. I would definitely go with like my parents. I feel like I learned a lot from them when it comes to like work ethic or like just household stuff, They have always been the people that I look up to, and kind of like when I'm feeling a little lost, I will always go to them. So yeah, definitely to shout out my parents for that.
When you go to a party, let's say you're meeting somebody new, you're going to a party, you're saying, "Hi, my name is Angelica." When people say, "So what do you do?" How would you describe what you do to someone who's never met you?
Yeah, it's first things first. I'm like, I get to work with kids and I get to work with animals. It's just a very simplified version of I get to bring animals, shelter animals, adoptable animals to all our wonderful schools throughout the county, and help teach the kids about the shelter, pet care, pet safety, and all the things. But when you go into it a little bit more, it's humane education, and that term is still pretty new for some people, so you kind of have to dig into it. And at the core of humane education is empathy. So we're teaching these kids to care and to love for all things, really, not just our dogs and cats in the shelter, but nature as well. So the conversation gets a little deeper at the end, but kids and animals is
Yes. And it's you're planting seeds. Yes. Because like you said, it's about empathy, and children, I think they love animals anyway. Like there's like an affiliation an instinct, that's just naturally there. But you're planting seeds on what's the next step? How do I show that I love them? Is it bigger than just loving my dog? They're, like you said, it gets into nature and it gets to bigger issues. So no, it's important work. You're planting seeds, and sometimes it might feel like maybe they're not getting it right away, but I think that they do, and just talking through it. And it's so I've been around 16 years, and I think one of the happiest days of my life was finding out that one of my camp kids is now a vet tech. And that her coming to my camp, her grandma told me, coming to my camp was her most favorite thing, and that she really felt like that made a difference in her career choice. And so you're doing very important work, all in its baby steps, and you're planting those seeds, and so that's really cool.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. And their kids are sponges, so they will soak up everything that you're telling them, which is awesome. But even if it's just a one-time visit, but what I really love about our programs is that we go to classrooms regularly, so we're seeing these kids, pretty often, and they remind you of something that you thought in the moment was just a little tiny little detail, something they might have overlooked, but they remind you of it. Or they're like, hey, like, I know last time we practiced, reading a dog's body language and like what a wagging tail means or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, I was at the park and I saw a dog and it started, wagging its tail. And so they really remember everything.
Yeah, they do. And just they remember the littlest things too. And you're like, what?
That's great. Like, I remember you were wearing a pink shirt last time you came.
Yes, so I went to a school once, and I had a dog, and I didn't go to every classroom, but it happened to be recess was happening. And so I was going to the classroom where I was going to settle, and all these kids came running over, and they're, doing everything you're really not supposed to do. They're screaming and waving their hands. And some of the kids from the class I was about to go in, they ran in and they went, stop!
They know the rules.
You need to have quiet bodies and, listen with your eye. They're doing all, so it's just, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
My work is.
Yeah, you're little advocates now. Yeah.
Yes. So, and that's great because they're teaching their classmates too. And they're going home and they're taking the lessons to their family. And so that's pretty neat.
Yeah. My favorite part is when they ask about the animal that I brought last time, because I try to bring new animals. So they're like, what happened to Fluffy? And then I get to share the awesome news of like Fluffy was adopted, and then they all start like clapping and cheering.
They remember, and so again, thank you for your work and for taking the program and evolving it, which is very exciting to see. So
I'm excited to see where else we're going to take it.
Yes. I mean, what do you think your legacy might be?
Oh my goodness,
that's such
a big question.
I didn't prepare you for that one. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
No, yeah, I think I'm just really hoping to establish relationships with some of our community members and organizations, and hopefully, 50 years from now on, we'll still see our programs in those specific organizations and things like that.
That would be a great goal. Yes. And all over the place. We want to be all over.
Yeah, like you've done such an awesome job with like the libraries, and I feel like we're starting to get back into them.
Because the pandemic did kind of slow things down for us a little bit, but we're back in and we're roaring. What about the SPCA do you find inspiring?
Everything.
Is there a particular department or?
Yeah. In terms of, I have so much respect for all of the departments, but I know I've shared this with you before, but our humane investigators, man, I have such a huge appreciation for them, for the things that they see and have to deal with on a daily basis. It's stuff from our worst nightmares, and they're the ones on the front end who are helping animals, bringing comfort to families and things like that. So, but yeah, again, just huge respect for all the work everyone is doing here.
We have camp coming up. Camp registrations are opening up in
very soon.
March.
Yeah, March 1st is so mark your calendars.
March 1st generally is the first day. So even if you're listening to this podcast in 2028, March 1st will probably be the day that we open up registration. And so tell me about summer camp. Yeah,
summer camp is just a big ball of fun, animals and kids, but super educational as well, which is what I really enjoy. The kids really take something home at the end of the week, so it's a week-long camp. The kids are here with us for 5 days. We have them for the whole day, and we do a whole bunch of really fun stuff. Everyone's favorite part, and my favorite part too, is when we get to go visit the shelter and hang out with some of the adoptable animals we have over there. But yeah, we still implement our humane education, curriculum in camp. But we also get to do lots of fun arts and crafts and all the summer camp things that you think of when you're thinking about your childhood and just having fun over the summer.
And we're lucky to have such a beautiful campus.
So lucky. And our big, beautiful building, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a blast in here.
So, okay, back to kids. What do you love about working with kids? What do you love about working with pets? And what do you love about both together? I know I threw them all at you at the same time.
I think with kids, it's just super cool that they're so curious about anything and everything. So when it comes to animals and helping them learn about animals, it's kind of cool to think about, like, maybe I'm the first person to tell you this, how gentle you should be when you're petting an animal, or how cautious you might need to be, So it's really cool thinking about, like, I'm teaching you something new, This is something you might not know at home. Maybe your parents never learned this stuff, or any of the other adults in your life. So being able to be that adult in their life, teaching them something that could keep them safe, but also help them, show empathy and affection to all living things is really cool. But yeah, it's the conversations that usually get me between the kids, because it's just, sometimes it's so random, but it's,
yes,
it's really cool to see, like, their thought process, and you literally see when that light bulb clicks. So that's one of my favorite parts for sure. And then being able to bring an animal into that just makes it so much more special, because I don't know, animals are just so naturally, like, loving and just pure and happy, and so it's a good combination for sure.
Yeah, I think having that animal around brings something out
in everyone.
Children.
Yeah,
and everyone but in children too, when you bring the crate in, or if you've got a kitten in your crate or something, and they all go, oh
yeah, no,
it's so
definitely.
magical.
Yeah, I was actually with a group of third graders today, and I took a guinea pig, and they were so excited, like, so excited. And I was like, is this your guys' first time seeing a guinea pig? And 90% of the class, like, what? Most of them, yeah, and they're third graders, so they're a little bit older, but they're like, no, this is my first time seeing one in real life. So that was
they're gonna remember
very
that.
Special. Yeah,
they're gonna go home and they're gonna say, I want to
oh yeah, no, come to the SPCA.
Yeah, we've got some.
Well, we have a couple cute ones too. Yeah,
we have got a few. So in your journey so far, I know you haven't been with us not quite a year yet. Is there anything that you've learned about yourself?
Yeah, I think definitely kind of just, like, reinforcing, like, I know I want to help animals for the rest of my life. So I think, yeah, I mean, I knew that as a very young kid, but I think actually having experience and working and being fortunate enough to call this work, it's something that I want to continue helping all the animals in the world.
That makes me so happy. That makes me very happy. I had a similar experience when I first started here, and I went, wow. I looked around and I thought, I feel like I'm making a difference, and I might not know everything yet, but I want to know everything. That's what I felt. I don't know if you have had a similar experience, like, you just soak it all in, and it's
very empowering.
Yeah, for sure. That's the word. That is the word. It's empowering. Okay, so you know this. We go to career days and things like that. There may be somebody listening out there who's thinking, wow, that sounds like a great, fun job. Or maybe there's someone, who's trying to decide on a career path. What advice would you give someone who might be interested in doing what you do or working here?
Yeah, I think just getting any experience that you can working around or with animals is super beneficial. Looking into your local shelters, especially if you're not from this area. But volunteering is an awesome way to kind of just like get started to see if it is something that you want to do, you know, because it might sound great, but it's hard work. You see some stuff, you know, that isn't the easiest sometimes. But yeah, just being involved in any way that you can with animals. Like I volunteered at the zoo when I was younger. That was a pretty awesome experience. Kind of learning how to communicate with people about animals. I feel like that's a big thing that you kind of have to learn. And then of course going to school, if this is something that you'd like to do, just any opportunities to learn more about animals, the different fields, opportunities. I know there are courses for humane education now. That specifically is what you want to do. I know there are courses that you can take, online courses too, which is nice. But any and all experience with animals, no matter what it is. And hey, if you want to work with animals, things get messy. Like poop is going to be a part of your daily conversations. I tell that to everyone, especially like the high schoolers I work with. You have to be ready to try new and different things.
Yes. Yeah, we say that in our meetings that poop always comes
It
up.
really does.
There's always something, because that's
Yeah.
animals. They do those things. So you made me think of something. So you work really, really hard. You work your hour. I mean, your hours are technically like 8 to 5, but I know you're here early sometimes because you have to get to a school at 8. Sometimes you're here a little later because you're coming back and there's traffic, and just, hoisting animals and visiting all those classrooms, all that energy that you expend. Camp, oh my goodness, camp is a lot of work. What do you do for self-care? How do you kind of unwind, and how do you shut off the day and
I
take
think
a breath?
some techniques I use to kind of like de-stress, or kind of just, I definitely I spend some time with my animals at home. Like, even though I'm around animals here and it's awesome, just being with my babies, getting some cuddle time in, taking them on a walk, getting some fresh air and exercise is always nice. So yeah, just being outdoors, because that's something I've always loved. And then like on the weekends, we're in such a beautiful, beautiful area. So just getting out to the coast, going on a little hike to like Point Lobos or somewhere. It really helps just reconnect myself to why I'm doing this, but also help me kind of like unwind a little bit.
Yeah, because it's hard work, and we talk about we talk about when you someone, we don't want you to burn out. Essentially, we don't want burnout. So I'm happy to hear that you have a plan, or you have things that you're able to do for yourself, because we don't want to burn people out. And the work here is hard. Sometimes it's not all sunshine and roses. We do run into things that are, maybe not the happiest, and that can wear on you. Mm-hmm. And so, compassion fatigue, we talk about that. It's a real thing. And so we want to make sure that everybody's taking care of themselves. So I'm happy to hear that you have a way of washing the day off, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I mean, you are hopefully having a good time with all the kids and all of that. So that can kind of give you a little bit of life too.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely, I feed off of others, and like their energy at least. So, if I'm having like a slow morning, I'm not a morning person. So it does take me a little while to kind of, get up there, but with the kids, it's like instant, and then you have to match their energy. So
yes. How would you convince someone to come to your camp, our camp here, versus underwater basket weaving? I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah, I think, well, honestly, like, our camp I feel like has been, it's so popular, which is so awesome that we have all these awesome community members that want to get their kids involved. We just have so many young learners that want to be around animals, so it's not very hard. But yeah, just, letting people know that, hey, like, the SPCA Monterey County, we're offering a summer camp that, we're going to be doing lots of awesome stuff, But most importantly, we are going to be learning about, being around animals and how to take care of them, especially if you're a pet owner or hope to be a pet owner in the future. All these campers that are coming through our door will hopefully be future responsible pet owners. So they're learning those very important skills. But I think as soon as we mention animals, we got them.
And the staff loves the kids.
Oh, they love participating.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. They love participating and being involved with the kids, from our barn to our clinic to HI. They love to get involved. I think they love to have the kids here. And yeah, they give tours. They help the kids learn about animals in the barn. HI will literally set up a physical activity, a training activity to give those kids like hands-on experience. And it's cool to see. And like, I'm really fascinated by it. So like I'm participating there too, so it's a very unique experience too. And it's so awesome that everyone wants to put a helping hand in.
I mean, imagine being like 8 years old and you're sitting there and you're listening to an animal cop talk about what they do. I don't know. I mean, how do you sit still?
Right? Yeah.
I think that's
like,
the
I know
coolest
they're
thing.
going home and that's all they're talking about for the rest of the day.
And then they see the people that they've met on campus as they're walking to the shelter. Officer Jacob will walk by and you could see them. They're like, oh, it's all
Yeah.
right. I know that guy.
They straighten up a little bit.
It's so cute. It's really, and so that's amazing because it's also opening their eyes to different career paths.
Yeah,
too,
for sure.
and there are different jobs.
Yeah, and then they take that information and they remember it later on too. Like if they were to see an animal that needed help, in the wild, like I've had kids tell me like, yeah, like I told my mom to call the SPCA. I told her to call, Officer Jacob or whoever they met that day. So that's also really,
and that's also very empowering too for kids because for instance, just using the Humane Investigations department, we answer all calls that we get, of any kind of potential cruelty or neglect. And we could have a 5-year-old child call and we take it all seriously. So letting the kids know that too, it's just gives them that little, someone's going to listen to you. It's okay if you're 8. It's okay if you're 9. We're going we're going to take you seriously.
Yeah, we're going to help, we're going to do our best to help the
and
animals.
They're doing their part in keeping their eyes open and being empowered to say something. So that's amazing. So is there anything else you'd like everyone to know?
I think just I'm very grateful for us to be able to go out to so many schools throughout the county. As you know, we are a very large county and not everyone has the opportunity to come to our shelter or to come to this area in general. So I think just being able to go out to schools and provide these resources is just, it's super important. And like, I want to stress that importance because I have teachers that like almost have tears in their eyes when they're saying thank you. Like, thank you for bringing this opportunity to the students because they care about their students and they know students care deeply about animals and want to do something to help. So yeah, I think just, I guess, shouting out my teachers in the area throughout Monterey County and fellow educators, they're doing some hard work. So us being able to provide this and go to their classroom to teach their kids something, it means a lot.
I don't know what else to say because that's amazing. That's yeah. I kind of want to leave it right there. So, but I do want to thank you so much for being part of our team and for your energy because it's a lot, you're kind of one of the kids sometimes. You have to have that that energy, and you certainly have that, and it's amazing to watch. And thank you for loving animals and for being such a great team member. And I know we're going to have you back. You're going to come back, and we'll have something else to talk about. But it's so nice getting to know you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you all for tuning in. We would love to hear from you. If you have questions for us, please email us at info@spcamc.org. Please put podcast question in the subject line so your question will be forwarded directly to me. You can find more information on all of our programs and services we provide at our website, www.spcamc.org. A tremendous thank you to all SPCA staff, volunteers, and board of directors, an incredibly supportive, compassionate, kind, and involved group of wonderful and talented people who work tirelessly and endlessly to care for the animals in our community. And a special, heartfelt thank you to our generous, loving supporters. We at SPCA Monterey County could not do what we do for the animals and people in our community without you. If you would like to support us, that would be most appreciated. You can find that information at spcamc.org. If you are so inclined, please drop a like or give us a rating on whatever platform you listen in on. We strive to continue our reach far and wide, and all of those ratings definitely help. Dawn Fenton here, signing off until next time. Much unconditional love to you and your pets from us here at SPCA Monterey County.